What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Abby and I warmly welcome you to the Caribbean and to my yardstead here in Trinidad and Tobago. I've already harvested 2 pods of okra, but I wanted to harvest this first corn in this sack with you guys. I want to do it together. Let me find my basket. I already have the tonka bean that we're going to put to dry so that we can do the experiment together where we will make our own tonka bean essence together. And let's harvest this corn together because the weather has changed. In the forecast, we have a lot of rain for Trinidad and Tobago, the southern part of the Caribbean. Our rainy season is here. April is the wet season. It's forecasted to be above average rains, and you guys know we get loads of them just when it does come here in the southern part of the Caribbean. And as I mentioned in the first part of yesterday's video, or whatever day the video came out, the last video, that I have a lot of problems with flooding. And when my chicken coop floods, it distresses me a lot because there are a lot of ripple effects from the flooding. But before we do that, let's harvest this corn together. We tilt this camera. Now I'm not very versed as to when to harvest corn, but from what I've seen is when the silks dry all the way back, and it has. And this is a good size ear corn, so let's harvest it together. Our first corn, guys, the seed packet that I planted this corn from is called the Bantam sweet corn, and I'm hoping that look at that. Okay. A few spots missing, but all in all, it's looking really good. It's looking really good. I did a few spots missing, but mostly, look at that, guys, mostly a good pollinated corn. I am happy with this. Very happy with this. And it's all the way to the tippity top. I'm tempted to give it a nibble. Let me give it a nibble. I'm going to give the chickens. It's sweet. Wow. Very nice. Very good. I have planted on the eastern side of the yard some more corn. And this is motivation to get some more corn planted. I'm going to plant 8 more seeds in the 2 remaining sacks that I have. As I mentioned before, we're using local soil in those sacks along with organic matter, grass clippings, and we're allowing that organic matter to break down and work into the soil over time. And corn, the roots penetrate basically a lot of things, so we're just using the corn for the crop in those sacks until the soil gets better and better. This is excellent stuff indeed. So without further ado, guys, the weather is showing me that what is forecasted is going to occur, and I am very anxious about the chicken coop. So I am going to get mixing some mortar so that I can finish up the plastering that I need to get finished up, and I'm going to start on the areas that need bitumen 2 days so that it can start drying, just in case we have a really heavy rain event and it does flood, that I don't have to deal with water problems so early in the rainy season. I hated the audio. I hate the audio of that wireless mic that I have. So I've changed back to my wired or microphone. The only thing about the wired microphone is that it doesn't drown out the background noise. And we have new neighbors that are noisy. They're very noisy. So if you get background noise, I sincerely apologize. So I have my corn Guys, I just want to encourage you to get planting too. whatever medium you have, just throw some seeds in that dirt. And I'm not pushing these seeds down deeply because it's clay soil, and we do have creatures that eat seeds. So I'm putting, that's 6 of them there. In the other sacks I put 4 each, but I put in 6 this time because we only got 3 out of the 4, so I'm hoping that I can get more. Out of these sacks. Lovely. Today was a very busy day for me. I was back and forth, inside and out, trying to get everything ready. This time of the year is a very special time for my family. This is the season where we're coming up to the anniversary of our Lord's death, and we try to get a lot of things done in preparation for that, because there's nobody in this world that has done what he has done for us. And so a lot of things I'm doing on the inside is spring cleaning, you know, just a lot of preparation. And now that rainy season has started, we were supposed to do some cleaning up together outside, but I see all that leaves. I needed to get all those leaves raked up before we get a big rain event and it block our drain pipes that head back out to the drains. So when I'm finished with this chicken coop, I still have to finish sweeping up all these leaves. I'm going to put them all by the banana tree, and they won't wash back down from there, and hope that the tree doesn't shed more leaves again between today and Sunday. By the way, I want to mention this channel, Mr. Weatherman. That's the name of the channel, Mr. Weatherman. His name is Brian Shields, and he is focused on giving the Caribbean heads up for any weather patterns that are coming our way, island by island, from the north to the south, the east to the west. All of us he covers, and I find that is so good, because we haven't had reliable meteorological service to us. And since he has come on the scene, anytime he predicts the weather, 97% of the time he is on a point, and is really good. So you can check him out, Mr. Weatherman, right here on YouTube. And that's where we got our forecast that we're going to have a very, let me add another word, very wet, rainy season. And it's starting in the south, and it will work its way up to the north. So let me switch the camera around. This panel is left here because this is what we put across our pedestrian gate when flooding is going to happen. It helps us a lot. It actually keeps out the most of the water, but some does still trickle in. And I have already fixed, when we already have that panel here, I have already fixed this side of the chicken coop. I've already plastered and placed the bitumen on this side of the chicken coop. However, I have not done the front of the chicken coop. And what happens is that we have big drains on the outside on the roadway. The water from the drain backs up here. This is the drain pipe out. The water backs up here, and the water from the roof has no way to go. And in less than 3 minutes, less than 2 minutes, sometimes even 1 minute, the water backs all the way back to the cars. It's crazy, guys. When buckets of drops coming out of the sky, is crazy how fast it could build up. Really crazy. And then on top of that, if it's really bad and we have a river bank burst up in the mountains, and you're hearing it coming down the mountain, and it's gushing coming down, it makes the matters even worse. So what ends up happening is the water backs up and goes under used to, because my husband plastered it here for me. I'm just going to mix a little bit of mortar because he didn't have any more and he needed to go. I'm going to mix a little bit and I'm going to attempt, you know, putting some mortar in there, and I hope it can dry. And if it can dry between today and tomorrow, I will slap some bitumen up on that so that the water will not be able to go in on the sides, so that inside the coop could stay dry. Now guys, my birds have gotten sick every single year, because every single year it gets flooded, and within a matter of days they start coughing, they start sneezing, they start with runny nose, and once the chickens get sick, it's very bad. It's very hard for them to recover on their own. And unfortunately, at those times I have used antibiotics to save my chickens, because experts have told me you need to, because it's really bad. When the chickens get sick, they're not able to recover on their own. They need... Oh, it's a ladybird. I want to know what's crawling on me. Alright, so that's the consistency that I want. That's the consistency that I want. I don't want it too wet, because as I said, the weather is cooler, it's wetter, and I want that concrete to bind. I want it to pull, as we call it, so that it could set in the space that I'm going to set it into, which is in the corner over here. So let me do that. When I'm finished, I'm gonna give you a tour of how the chicken coop is at the moment. We still have some twerking to do inside of the chicken coop, but I'm gonna give you a tour of it because one of my subscribers, they asked for a tour as to how the chicken coop is built, and I am more than thrilled to show you how we did it here in the yard stand. Let's see how I get this done with my left hand. Something to be behind there. Right. So you have the back in there. So it shouldn't fall all the way out. Daddy, if you're watching this, know that I asked you to teach me masonry. this is me doing this if I'm watching you. So don't come down on me hard next time we talk on the phone. Oh, we get it. Lovely. What you think, Daddy? Let me know in the comment section down below, Daddy. I do something for myself. I'm building. Not too shabby, man. Not too shabby at all. Alright, so we'll just let that dry, and we are going to attempt doing something on this corner. Gotta move this stuff out the way, we're gonna attempt doing something in this corner, and I need to put something in the back so that the chickens don't peck at it until it dries. I look like a crazy lady. Anyway, this is all part of it. It's all part of the work. Sometimes we're allowed to look crazy, right, guys? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Listen, so I was trying to avoid having extra mortar, and I have extra mortar. So I am going to look around the yard. I think I might try putting it somewhere over the driveway section that's gravelly and try to smoothen out something. I'll try using up that mortar somewhere, and when we get back we're going to start with the bitumen. This is the bitumen, guys. It's bituminous asphalt based compound sealant. This is a local product. You guys know Trinidad and Tobago has a beautiful pitch lake. I've done a short about it. I still have videos about the pitch lake. It is a beautiful place, guys. When you go in the evening, the pitch firms up, and so water that's in the pitch pools in certain areas. Now, it's not something you could do without a guide, because some parts of the pitch do not harden. It stays soft, and it has been noted that people have gone to their demise in the pitch, never to be recovered. But the pitch lake is beautiful, and you could go there in the evenings and have a beautiful sulfuric bath. When you go in there, if you have a bunch of pimples and you come out the next day, guys, literally, I kid you not, your skin is beautiful. We even experienced that last year when we bathed in the mud volcanoes. It's very sulfuric mud, but the next day your skin is so soft. It is so amazing. There's so many things you could do here in the country of Trinidad and Tobago. Guys, I like to highlight the whole of the Caribbean, hence the name of my channel, Caribbean Charm. To me, it's pointless to pinpoint one island, because, like, take for instance my genealogy. My grandmother is from St. Vincent. Her grandmother was from Barbados. Her grandmother's grandmother, I don't even know where she was from, but it's just to tell you, we go all the way back to Scotland, guys. What I'm trying to say is that we all have a family member that is from some other Caribbean island, and hence the name Caribbean Charm. Every time you touch down on any Caribbean island, you're bound to be charmed out of your wits by the beauty, by the warmth of the people. You have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, back at on the task at hand. Let me put that mortar before it firms up too much for me, because I already mixed it kind of dry. I'm gonna find somewhere to put that, and we're going to come back and put down the asphalt, and I'm going to try and give you a quick tour of the coop. Let's go. Still trying to look pretty. Alright, I just took alright. I still look crazy. I look wild. Alright, so I've been looking for the last half an hour. Well, not half an hour. I've been looking for the last 10 minutes looking for something, for a piece of metal that I don't care about, that I could spread this bitumen on, because once whatever the bitumen gets on, that's the end of it, because it's hard to get rid of the bitumen. So I am going to cut off a piece of this sheet metal, this scrap sheet here. and try to create my own spatula. So I am gonna bend the edges here a little. To create like a slight handle, and I would have a little bit of smooth edges on my hand so it doesn't cut me, that kind of thing. So that shouldn't be too bad. I should be able to work with that. So when I'm putting it on, I have a little bit of smooth edge onto the glove so that it doesn't cut the glove. I also have to put gloves on my hands because once the bitumen gets in your finger, guys, oil, you have to use gasoline or something of that sort to get it off of you, and that is not fun at all. So let's get to work, guys. There are a lot of... Alright, so camera's kind of bent, right? So this is how it looks. This is asphalt, local product, and I've used it already on the eastern side of the coop. I'm now using it on the southern side of the coop where the water backs up and creates most of my problems. So we're gonna go down and apply this pitch to the edges down here. Ladies, once we put our minds to something, we could get it done. Get it done, guys. So I am going to use this as my spatula, yeah, and I am going to put this down quickly and then give you that tour, guys. Probably said that a million times already. Still get some on my finger. And the asphalt is all done. I didn't get the whole strip done. I got halfway done. I still had that corner to do over there, that corner right there, and we can't do it right now because the cement is still wet. So I'm hoping tomorrow it doesn't rain heavily and that we have a bly, and that corner holds up to water without the pitch. But just to give you a close-up, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all, but as it dries, when it dries, I do intend to paint over the panel with a lovely color. Hopefully that will help with the looks. But as you can see, I even pasted on the cement, which is the floor. That's to create a complete seal so that when the water comes, it does not penetrate at all, and it's on there pretty thick as well. Yeah. All right, guys, so let's get into this tour of the chicken coop. Now let me give you a backstory of this chicken coop. It took years for me to get chickens. It took years for my husband to finally agree for me to having chickens. Now that we have the chickens, he loves it. He loves that we can have eggs anytime. He loves that his daughter has a source of income and she's learning how to be an entrepreneur rather than an employee. He's learning. He loves a lot of things about the chickens. So when we started with this small coop, and we were surrounded by the gardens. And this is the first chicken coop that he built for us. He built a steel structure, and on the inside he had the bottom That's limestone and a little bit of the droppings from the chickens above and a little bit of feed. But when he built the chicken coop, he built it and he placed the hardware cloth all the way around, all the way around, all the way up to the ceiling, in fact, because we have some really huge rodents that are on the streets, and I didn't want to experience a rat getting in and eating my chicks. So he covered the whole thing with the wire. Here he didn't get finished. I did this this janky stuff here. I did that. I made up something because he didn't have time. Up to now he hasn't finished it, and I just put this up together. My hinges are pieces of wire. It's working. That's all we needed to do. It's animals. We don't need a mansion for them. So it started off with this small little coop here, and around the coop, all over there was the garden. And smartly, I started off with 4 chickens. 1 died, and then I had 3. And then after about 6 months of having those chickens, I went and I got myself some more chickens, some baby chicks. And that second flock, within 2 days, it started showing illness. But because I was new to chicken rearing, I had the baby chicks up here on the top. I had them up here on the top, and I had the big chickens at the bottom. And the little baby chicks started coughing and sneezing and all the illness. And after reading up, realizing that they were ill, I read on the internet that you shouldn't keep them close to the big chickens. But the big chickens, within 2 days, they too started coughing and sneezing and this and that. And so at that time, I was trying to do things organically. I didn't want to use antibiotics. But let me tell you, my chickens, my huge chickens, I had New Jersey Giant chickens, huge black chickens, and I love those birds. There's Chicoletta, Vanessa, and Aaliyah. Those 3 chickens, we love them. And those chickens suffered. I suffered. Those chickens suffered, and so it came to a point where I had to cull them because they weren't getting any better. And it was pretty scary being around that type of illness with the animals. You have to take into consideration human health. So I decided to cull them, and at that time I still had my puppy, my dog, Jumbo, and I fed him the meat. I just boiled the chicken with rice and I gave him it, and he had a field day with those chickens. And the next flock I got how much chickens was it? I think it was about 6 or 7 chickens. So I was creeping up big, more and more chickens, more and more. He was like, you feel smart, you want to get a bigger pen. I said, well, it's chickens, they're cute. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to keep half of this area garden and half the chicken coop. And so we had those chickens here in this area, those 6 or 7 chickens I believe we had, and they timed out well. We also had 2 roosters with those 6 and 7 chickens, and so I learned what it was like to have roosters in this area. So this is a 6x8. This side is a 6x8, and so is the other side. 6 inches, 6 feet wide by 8 feet long. And we kept those chickens on this side. That was the laying flock. And so I said to him one day, I want to try raising our own meat. Let's try it and see how it goes. He said, so where you plan to put them? I said, well, how about I go completely into container gardening and you extend the chicken coop to the whole in-ground garden. He said, happy, you feel fine. I know you was coming with this, more and more chickens. Can't help it. So that's how we ended up. This whole area that is the chicken coop used to be my in-ground garden. I used to plant in this area, but I devoted it to the chickens, so he extended and he built me this side, and then we started raising our own chickens for meat. So a proper tour of it. This side is a 6x8. That coop, I no longer really use it for anything other than the brooding stage, but I really don't use inside there for anything much. Over here on my left here is some grass clipping from the savannah. My husband brought home a whole truckload. Can you believe it? A whole truckload, guys. Some of it's starting to decompose, so I'm starting to use it in the garden. I sprinkle lime occasionally to keep the mites down, and sometimes I use this side as a hospital. She's being picked on, so I brought her over here to recuperate. This is our homemade chicken plucker. My daughter took some grass and put inside her for this chicken, and so now I have more cleanup to do. Homemade chicken plucker. I put an old stand as for in the bathroom in here. We no longer use it inside, so I just store my stuff on the inside there for now. But once these chickens grow up and they take over this space, then I would need to find a new home for that. We'll deal with that when it comes. On this side as well, it's a little smaller. I think it's 5 feet. Let's open it a little wider. All of this is recycled material, guys, things that he had home. As I said, he deals with a lot of metal. He's a welder, and so we use all the scraps at home. The only thing that we bought was the wire. All these paneling is from old garage doors, you know, people were throwing out, and he used garage door panels as the walls within. All of the walls on the inside, we'll come back on this side. On the inside are old garage door panels. The walls that are upright, he used insulated panels because when it gets hot now, you know, you're trying to buffer the heat from the chickens as much as possible. Here, the chickens lay inside of that table. This was put on the side of the road, and I grabbed it up and I brought it home, and the chickens love it. Everything is recycled in here. In the center again, more chicken wire to separate it from the other half, so that when we have the meat birds, the laying birds don't go over and bully them. They're quite vicious ladies when they're ready. Yeah, so right now we have 14 chicks on this side. Look at that one. I think someone bullied her and she got an abscess, but she's all right. You can see from the color of her comb, all she has is that swelling on the bottom there, but other than that, she is one of the top ladies. So the white stuff again is limestone. I'm doing that, and it's working out for me to control the mites on my birds. This is the first flock that I actually feel like if I'm become attached to. I really love these chickens. And again, a scrap piece of 2x4, I believe that is. I'm not sure. Yeah, 2x4 inches, and that came from off of a pallet. So occasionally I clean that off. It's important to clean off the roost and dust it so that the pests do not incubate the roost and harass the chickens while they're sleeping. All right, so basically that's it, guys. My normal chicken water, I have it up because the chickens scratch and they like to get dirt down in there. I still have to clean it every day because, as you can see dirt in it, they go and they wash their face after pecking through. One thing, oh, the feeder is a regular old 5-gallon bucket. We bought these in a thrift store in Georgia, Atlanta. We saw them. We got a bunch of them for like $1, and my husband cut out the holes and we put them in, and that way there's no wastage. The only thing that I see the chickens pull out is the corn. This flock does not like corn very much. They eat it, but not very much. And what else in the roof now we did with PVC roofing, and that's the neighbor's baby crying. I would not change it. It does not buffer the heat from the chickens. I wanted this type of roofing because we have many snakes here in Trinidad and Tobago, and you know, snakes like to come after eggs, chickens, you know, stuff like that. So I didn't want for me to add darkness to the coop area. And as you can see, vision is not my number one attribute, and so I wanted it to be as lit as possible for me. But I realized and I learned with my meat birds over time that chickens prefer some shade, and so to buffer the heat that comes from that as well, all I did is I went and I got some insulation for roofing. It was pretty cheap for it, and I bought it and I just tried my best and drape it up. I have to take it down now because there's a bunch of Sahara up there. I'm afraid, but I have to take it down and wash it up so that dust mites and all this kind of stuff don't start incubating inside the coop again. So basically that's it. So if you want to buffer heat from your chickens, you could put in the insulation. It works really well. The chickens are happy. And when I have my meat birds, I also have to add an industrial fan into the coop to keep blowing cool air in, because the meat birds, they die really quickly from the heat. Alright, so even though this coop is pretty open, it can get really hot in there, and hence we had the fan. This is a window in the wall. I didn't want a solid wall in the coop, and so my husband built me this window. I'll try and unlatch it while holding you. Hold on, I can't. Right, so he built me a chain. I unlatched the chain, and so what I can do now, because hold on, I shifted this thing here, so hold on, let me put you on pause. Alright, so this is a huge, like I said, it's garage door panels, and so he just used garage door hinges, and it's like a stationary garage door, if you will. And so what I can do when it's raining, I can collapse it. Wind could still go in, but the rain will not go in. Even though this is here, there's a lip that stops it, and so the water just runs and comes down to the plants right here. So that's the coop. So when it's raining, I can have it like that. When it's not, the chickens love to look at the greenery. They love to look at me while I'm in the garden. So most of the times I have it open. Now that we're going to be having some rain, I'm just going to use a stick and prop it up to a point where they can continue to get breeze and live their nice happy lives. Hey, come on, get back in there, come on. Can't trust them, man. Chickens get out in 30 seconds, your whole garden is gone. So that's it, guys. That is my chicken coop. Nothing much to it. If you were to add the entire dimension, it is about 11 feet in width and 8 feet in depth. So 11 feet this way and 8 feet that way. We have poly V roofing, insulation in the roof for shade, and it's all scrap metal. We use what we had home here, along with the garage door hinges, all garage door panels for the walls, and I love my coop. Alright, if you enjoyed the tour, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to know anything, please ask the questions in the comment section down below. I will try my best to answer them all. There's still some things we need to fix on the coop. Here I just tied on loosely some chicken wire, but I need to come through and just for the aesthetics of it all, fix that and do some twerking. The IVs growing up inside the coop, all of that needs to pull down, but I can't deal with that. My husband has to deal with that. For some reason my skin flares really bad when I deal with the IV. So guys, if you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to like, share, and hit the all notification bell so that every time I post a video you'll be notified that I've dropped something down in your feed. And subscribe, please subscribe to the channel and help me reach to my goal of 1,000 subscribers. So far I've been enjoying my journey. I've enjoyed the organic growth of the channel, and yeah, just meeting all of you wonderful people has been really, really, really nice. All right. So I want to say thank you to my new subscribers. Obviously, a big hearty thank you to my old subscribers who return and watch my videos every week. Thank you so, so much. All right. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Look, the sky looks so good. Bye bye.